You said that you disagree with some of the things about the Great White Hope, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of something you disagree with?
I think
he let me down.
I think that he pushed the vaccine is my biggest point of contention. I think he pushed the vaccine really hard, and he said things where like, we're going to send the National Guard to give it to people. And he also had the opportunity to fire Fauci, and he didn't. And his
pardons were a mess at the end. His pardons were, it was like I had already been so let down by him and already felt like, it's like that scene in Game of Thrones when everybody takes turns stabbing Jon Snow. Yeah. And then the last one was like, all right, I'm not pardoning Julian Assange or Edward Snowden, but I'll pardon Kodak Black and Lil Wayne. And that was like the little kid Ollie stabbing you in the heart. Like that was just the last stab where I was like, wow, really? We're doing that? Okay.
I do think one of my things that kind of did bug me a little bit was when he would be like, oh, I have the lowest black unemployment. No, I don't care. I just want unemployment. You don't have to specify who's unemployment. Unemployment's unemployment. But I do agree. It's like
Kodak Black filmed himself in a sexual act with a underage girl.
Yeah.
And like, let's pardon him, right? But Julian Assange, let's let him rot in prison.
So I think for me, it had to do more with, and people say it's because he didn't know or this and that. And I think that kind of some of the people that he put in the cabinet when he wanted to drain the swamp were like John Bolton, who's Mr. Swamp, like stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, look, people make mistakes. Look, being president's not easy. Nobody's right. That's like a job that like only 45 people have ever done. Like that's not. You can't talk to many other people that have done it.
And Ron DeSantis in 2 years.
So if there was a choice between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, you guys would go with Ron DeSantis?
Well, yeah, because we're in Florida, so we've seen firsthand the good that he's done. And look, here's the thing.
You can't have him yet, though. We got him for 2 more years.
Yeah, we got him for 2 more years.
You can have our toys later when we're done with them.
But here's the thing, Jesse. Ron DeSantis, this is why I think people need to know the state government can be more powerful than federal government if used properly. Ron DeSantis is the reason that we don't wear masks on airplanes anymore because he sued the Biden administration. He goes, you can't do this. And then he won and then masks were off the plane. He also told them, hey, by the way, the is killing people. My Surgeon General says so. Do something about it. And at least for us here, look, we don't have income tax, which is wonderful. Obviously, everybody wants to move here. And at least for me, Florida's a pretty free state in terms of do what you want. We only wore masks in Florida and Mersh for 2 weeks. And after that, Ron DeSantis was like, we're done. We're done with this. We're finished. This is America after all. Out of the two, I mean, DeSantis
he's
for
amazing.
Me. Yeah.
He's like Rand Paul if he was taller, more handsome, and anybody took him seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like wow, what if we went a Rand Paul, but people actually took him seriously around the office? Like we have one. His name's Ron DeSantis.
Yes.
But when Donald Trump was in office, he had so many people against him, the media, the Democratic Party, the right-o Republicans, and the Neville Trumpers, and some of the people who were working with him.
The people he surrounded himself with.
Yeah, so it made it very difficult for him. My concern is there are a lot of rhinos that for Ron DeSantis running for president, and I'm wondering if they want him to run because he's weaker than Donald Trump.
No, I think they want. I think what I've been seeing, and this is my opinion, is they've been trying to pit Ron DeSantis and Trump against each other because they figure they'll split the base, right? That's what they want. They don't want any one of them to be powerful. I think that all the articles you're seeing is like Ron DeSantis is secretly talking about Trump. And look, at the end of the day, I believe that if Trump runs, DeSantis won't run. I believe that he will not run. I think because he knows that he's young, he can wait.
Yeah,
he could wait. I think if
he also knows
Trump,
it's going to be a goddamn circus if he runs in that. I think he just doesn't want the Trump stink on him. I think he's like, dude, I'm running a squeaky clean brand right now, and everybody loves me right now. So I'm sitting this one out, buddy. You go ahead and just start lobbing hand grenades and turning it into a 3-ring circus. I got 4 years. I'll go hang out with my wife in Fort Myers.
But that's what I think. I think that the smart move would be for him not to run if Trump runs. He'll be like, no, I could wait. Why not? If I'm him, I'd wait. Like, go. You're a rock star in Florida. do what you got to do. And then because at the end of the day, look, a lot of DeSantis voters are Trump voters and vice versa. So why would you do that? Like the last thing you want is another Bernie Sanders situation like the DNC had, where they had to basically block him out because they didn't like the guy, you know?
Yeah. Well, I know that he's doing an amazing job in Florida, but it's a little more difficult to run a country than it is to run a state.
Yeah, but Florida's not a state. Have you ever been to Florida? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I have been, yeah.
It's not. This is a weird state to run. Everybody here has like 4 guns on them. Everybody here is drunk. It's a pretty wild state to try to control.
It's funny. It's funny.
It's good practice to be president.
If you go to South Florida, you're basically in Cuba. But if you go to Middle Florida, you're in the South, like hillbilly South. If you go to Panhandle, so it's like 3 different states in one. But look, I agree, man. Running a state, of course, is not the same as running a country. That 100% is true. But at the end of the day, like we said, not only 46 people have done it. So, they have to come from somewhere.
To be fair, one of those people is Joe Biden, though. So it can't be that hard.
God.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
I mean, one of them is literally.
I know. I think that Obama is really running this country. I really
feel like Obama's running it because it feels like when he started while he was in there, right? And it just seemed to be a continuation of that.
Yeah, it's almost like he's that martial arts master in that movie. And he's like the guy that's like, they're talking about Biden. He's like, we trained him wrong on purpose as a joke.
As a joke, yeah.
It's like Obama's giving him bad advice on purpose and he just thinks it's hilarious. Joe, I want you to go to war with Russia. And he's like, all right, boss. And he's just like, oh my God, he's going to do it. He's going to go to war with Russia.
Amazing.
But Jesse, it's funny because we've been talking about this. It's like, look at Fetterman, look at Biden. The DNC wants brain dead people because they could control them. They'll do whatever they say. They'll follow whatever they say, and that's it. It's easier to control somebody who's not all there than to control somebody who'll fight for themselves. Right. I mean, if you don't believe me, ask JFK.
I want Fetterman to win just for the sake of our show because we're a comedy show, and I've been saying for the last 3 months, I'm like, guys, please vote for Fetterman just for the sake of our show. He's the best. He's like a stroke victim who literally wears hoodies, and then he goes in front of these people, and they're all cheering, and he's like, "Today, Governor Manchin, baby duck, parking." And they're like, what? And everybody's like, yes, get him. And you're like, he's just saying words.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like sounds like he's playing a game of passcode or something.
Yeah.
What a mess. Are you concerned that if DeSantis should run for president and somebody else become governor down there, will they be as strong as DeSantis, or will Florida go liberal?
The only person right now that I would say that at least currently, maybe Matt Gaetz, I would say would be a good. I know, but think about it. Who else do you have? That's the problem. That's why we're scared. I mean,
he's got to groom somebody. He's going to have to get a lieutenant governor. He's going to have to get somebody that he can groom to be like his next dude.
Maybe his Surgeon General.
That guy's pretty big. I like him.
Yeah, his Surgeon General went on there and was like, look, this is killing people, and they took his tweet down, and they took the Surgeon General of Florida, and they were like, took his tweet down. He's like, you want us to trust the science?
That black guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he seems kind of weak though.
No, man, he's been coming out literally, like he just said, he just got in trouble on Twitter for being like giving people heart attacks. Like,
yeah, I saw him talking about it, but I don't know his personality, and I may be wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I do agree with you. That's a good point, Jesse. He's a little too mild-mannered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need that when you're dealing with like science and doctors and stuff.
Yeah, but not a governor. You can't be that way.
I don't think. Well, not as a governor. Yeah, but I mean, as far as
you can't be
stuff, he's not like, you don't want somebody like screaming like Alex Jones about a vaccine because it doesn't sound.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? You want a calm black guy that went to Harvard who's like, no, I'm telling you, it gives people.
But he reminds me, and I don't know the man at all, so I can be totally wrong. But he reminds me of a black guy that was raised by a mean black mama, and. And she didn't let him speak up while growing up. Like, you don't talk to parents, to adults like that. He seemed to be a little afraid to really let it out.
Go get the switch. Go get the switch from outside. Yeah,
he's a kid that got smacked in the back of the neck every time he forgot to say sir or ma'am.
Right.
Yes, sir.
My grandma did make me go out and pick the stick that she hit me with. It was so funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I learned though.
Yeah, my grandmother made me do that. Made me do that at times as well.